This year, you are no longer going to be the person who sets goals and walks away from them. You are going to be the person who sets goals and actually sticks to them. Building routine is life-changing, okay? It helps you build more structure, it helps you build more self-confidence and trust within yourself, and it honestly helps you learn true balance within your life so you can do all the things that you like to do. Because time is so valuable, and being intentional with your time and your daily habits is truly a life-changing skill. And when you avoid procrastination and actually do what you say you're going to do, there's just an amount of trust and confidence that builds within yourself that is truly unmatched. I want to preface this by saying this. I'm not trying to make you this perfect person. I'm not saying that you are imperfect and I'm trying to make you this perfect person with this perfect routine and this perfect life, okay? That is not it. I'm not trying to change you. I'm trying to enhance your life in a way that's going to feel fulfilling for you. You can have true balance. You can have all the things that you want. If you like throwing yourself on the couch, watching Netflix, watching all the newest Netflix series and shows. I love doing that. That's like my favorite pastime. While scrolling through social media, if you like doing those things, you can still do those things every once in a while. I love a good rot. Watching every single new Netflix series, new Netflix show. I love going to happy hour. I love eating great foods. But guess what? I also love making money. I also love seeing progress within my fitness goals. I also love eating really healthy. And I also love seeing changes within myself when it comes to self-development. I just love seeing self-growth and self-development within myself. You can have both, and I'm going to show you how to have both within your life. In this video, I'm going to help you build a routine that's going to enhance your life, and I'm also going to be giving you tips on how to remain consistent within your routine, because all of this does not matter if you're not able to remain consistent and grow. And I've learned a lot about consistency, motivation, all that good stuff this past year while on my journey, and I always love sharing it with you guys. So we're gonna get into that. So part one, we're gonna be talking about how to actually build a routine that's going to work with you and your lifestyle. So first, I need you to go grab a pen and paper. You can use your phone, which I use my phone for everything. I use free apps all the time, guys. I'm not sitting here buying apps. If you have an iPhone, then Google Calendar is free. It's like the best app ever for like time blocking and planning out a schedule for yourself. Let's talk about our daily non-negotiables. Daily non-negotiables are things that you absolutely cannot avoid within your day. The biggest example that I can give is your job, right? Your full-time job, part-time job, whatever job you work, that is a non-negotiable. Your daily non-negotiables do not include all the fun fluff, but we're not talking about when you take your greens, when you work out, all this stuff. We are talking about the things that you actually have to do every single day, okay? So if you have a job, that is your job. That is getting ready for work. That is commuting to and from work if you have to commute. If you have kids, that means getting your kids ready for school as well, dropping your kids off at school or daycare, and picking them up at the end of the day and getting them situated. Everything that you absolutely have to do and the things that you honestly cannot avoid within your day to day. Those are your daily non-negotiables. At least that's what I'm talking about in this video. You kind of have to go to work, right? We kind of have to take care of our children. You know, we have to pick up our kids from school. Those are true daily non-negotiables. Okay, so we're gonna use Michelle as our example. She's a teacher. She works from 8 to 4 every single day. I always use teaching as an example because I was a teacher for 6 years, guys. I always use it and trauma dump on you guys. I'm sorry. But anyway, we're talking about Michelle's non-negotiable. Michelle has to be at work at 8 a.m. So that means she needs to wake up at 6:30 a.m. to get ready. She likes to give herself an hour to get ready, which I think is perfect. So Michelle wakes up at 6:30. She gets ready from 6:30 to 7:30. She likes to be out the house by 7:30. It takes her about 30 minutes to get to work. These are all non-negotiables, by the way. She commutes to work from 7:30 to 8. She starts her work day. She's there until 4, okay? At 4, she leaves the building. You know, at the end of the day, sometimes pickup can be a little crazy, okay? Sometimes it takes a little longer than usual to get out of the parking lot. Here I go trauma dumping again, okay? When I was a teacher, it used to take us like a good solid 30 minutes just to get out of the parking lot. The system there was just sucked so badly. So it would take like double the time to get home than it took for you to even get to work. Anyway, so it takes Michelle about an hour to get home from work. She gets home around 5. After that, she has all the time to do everything that she wants to do. These are Michelle's non-negotiables. These are the things that Michelle has to do on a day-to-day to live, basically. She has to go to work. She has to get ready for work. She has to commute to work. These are her daily non-negotiables. When we look at Michelle's schedule, she has a little bit of time in the morning, right? If she wants to wake up early and become an early morning person, she can swing as early as 4:30 a.m. That's 2 hours before her original wake up time. And depending on what time she likes to go to bed, she has a good 4 to 6 hours in the evening for herself. So in total, she has 6 to 8 hours every single day throughout the week, Monday through Friday, to pour into herself, to pour into her goals, basically. And when you do the math on that, she actually has around 30 to 40 hours weekly that she can use for her goals. That is a lot of time, guys. This is so important because you're putting it all into perspective. You're truly looking at all the time that you truly have to do better, to be better. It may not feel like it, but you do. Sometimes we spend a lot of that time on our couches scrolling mindlessly and not doing the things that we need to do for ourselves. That's why it's so important to just visualize your time. Now that you've mapped out your daily non-negotiables, and I hope you're doing this with me, guys, I need you to write out your goals for the year. Whether it's a yearly goal, quarterly goal, monthly goal, what are your goals? I highly recommend for you not to overcomplicate this, okay? When I was in my early 20s, I consistently overcomplicated my goals. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an influencer on Instagram. I want to start a small business. I want to do this. I want to do that. I would have all these goals and wonder why I couldn't hit them. I was so delusional. Let's keep it simple. It's okay to have a few like professional goals, personal goals, all that good stuff. It's not every day living a life of delusion. 2 to 3 goals is just fine to stick with. Let's not overwhelm ourselves. Let's be realistic every once in a while, okay? Let's get back to Michelle, okay? She has 2 goals right now. Okay, one of her goals is to work out 3 to 4 times a week. Another one of her goals is to pick up a hobby, okay? A hobby that she can eventually turn into a side hustle. So she is wanting to get into pottery, which I think is just so cool. We love Michelle. She's so cool. We have Michelle's daily non-negotiables. We have her goals. Now we need to figure out Michelle's habits, okay? These are the habits that might be keeping her stuck. I need you to be 100% honest with yourself, okay? I need you to be honest with yourself. What are the habits that are keeping you stuck? We need to get to the bottom of it, okay? And I don't want you to sit here trying to lie and be like, oh, this is something I'm gonna work on. We're not working on anything right now. Yes, you can work on it, but we need to work with what we have, okay? What we have going on right now. We can work on that later on. But what are the habits that are keeping you stuck right now? And I need you to be honest with yourself, with me, with everybody else in this room. These are the habits that we need to work around. Michelle tends to like scroll on her phone a lot, okay? She comes home from work and just plops on the couch and just starts scrolling for hours. It's really hard for her to stay focused. It's really hard for her to not scroll for hours. When someone calls her on FaceTime or on the phone, she's stuck on the phone for hours, and it's really hard for her to get things done when she is on the phone. And also, Michelle realized that if she doesn't get her workouts done in the morning or right after work, like right after she leaves work, she realized that she might not get the workout done, period. If she doesn't get it done early, she's less likely to get the workout done. Can you tell I'm kind of exposing myself? Am I the drama? Those last 3 habits I talked about with Michelle, those are habits that are keeping me stuck too. These are things that I'm currently working on, okay? It's not easy, but building a routine has helped me honestly build more structure. So I'm staying off my phone, not giving myself enough time to think about my workouts. I'm getting them done when I need to get them done. Honestly, working on myself overall. So now that we've mapped out your daily non-negotiables, okay, we've talked about your goals that you've set for yourself. And we've also talked about the habits that are keeping you stuck. Let's look at your routine and let's try some different things out, okay? Let's execute some routines. The best place to do this is in Google Calendar for me and on pen and paper because it's fun to like, doodle and stuff. Michelle wants to start working out 3 to 4 times a week, okay? And there's different variations of this that we can follow. Michelle says that she likes to work out either early in the morning, like right when she wakes up, or right after work, and there can be no in between. It's just those two. So we're gonna try out her waking up at 4:30 a.m. and going to like a 5 a.m. workout class every once in a while. And then in the afternoons, she has time to do whatever she wants to do for herself, go to a pottery class right after work, come home, clean, do whatever she has to do. But we're starting off with putting her workouts in the morning. Okay, and she's going to try that schedule out and see how she likes it. Schedule number 2 is her waking up at the same time at 6:30 like she's used to, going to the gym right after work, okay, going straight to the gym right after work, then coming home after that, maybe trying to book a pottery class sometime throughout the week, and then still trying to get all the other things that she needs to get done. I got a lot of questions on my last video about building a routine, and a lot of people got really confused at this part. How often should you do the different routines? Should you do it like A day, B day? How do you go about executing these routines? What you're doing whenever you're trying out these different routines is you're truly just trying to see how your body reacts to it and how you feel after executing this routine. Because at the end of the day, you want to be comfortable, you want to be confident, and you want to feel good. So if waking up at 4:30 a.m. a couple times a week does not make you feel good, then you're going to figure that out pretty early on that that's just not for you. It could take a week of you trying it out, okay? I do highly recommend trying it out a couple of times, not just writing it off after one try. I highly recommend trying it out a couple of times. It's going to take a few times for you to figure out whether this is for you or not. Try it out for 2 weeks. Try it out for 3 weeks. And make a decision after that. Maybe going into your notes app and just writing out how you feel in the mornings when you wake up, how you feel after your workout, how you feel throughout the workday after waking up at 4:30 a.m., how you feel when you get home at the end of the day. It takes time to build a habit. It takes your body a long time to adjust to these changes in your life, because over time you're going to see how your body responds to how busy you are, essentially. I know for me and my body personally, I really do not like to have a lot of things going on in the afternoon, because I personally like to have time to rot. Honestly, I don't really love having to go to work, go straight to the gym after work, come home, shower, make dinner, eat dinner, then try to fit in a hobby or something. Like, that is really chaotic to me in my life. I love having downtime. I love having time to reflect. And I'm so sorry about my voice, guys. We went out yesterday to a wedding. My voice is gone. I should have said that at the beginning of this video, but my voice is going away basically. So that's why it's a little scratchy. I personally like to have a lot of downtime throughout my week. Some people like having downtime. Some people don't. It just depends on who you are as a person. And that's the only way you're going to be able to figure this whole thing out. You just need to learn your own temperament and figure it out from there. Here's the structure. Here's the routine. You've mapped it out. Try it out. Like I said before, try one routine out for a couple of weeks. See how it works. Journal those feelings and journal the things that you would like to change about that routine. Try out a different routine and just try to figure out how you're feeling after executing that routine a couple of times. Over time, you will just know what works for you. That is just effortless for you, that you don't have to check your phone and see, oh, this is the time where I'm supposed to do this. This is the time where I'm supposed to do that. Once you have a routine that you actually really like, have figured out your temperament, you just figured out something that works for you, now it's time to build a weekly routine, okay? Let's look at the week overall, because this is how you're going to have the most success in your life, and this is how you're going to move forward, okay? We're gonna use Michelle as an example. So she started working out in the mornings and she loved it. And she's just like, this is just working perfect for me. I love doing the early morning workouts 2 times a week, okay? So this is what Michelle's doing currently, okay? She's working out on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and she's also doing a little Saturday morning workout, okay? We love a good Saturday morning workout. I used to love Saturday morning workouts so much. I don't do them as much as I used to, but like it was the best way to start my weekend off. I'd go to the gym, do a little workout class, and then go to the H-E-B or Trader Joe's after, get groceries, go home, organize my fridge, do whatever organizing I had to get done. It just started off the weekend just so great always for me. So Michelle's choosing to do that as well. So she's getting in a workout Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, okay? She's doing early morning workouts on Mondays and Wednesdays. So that means Michelle has so much time Monday after school, Tuesday after school, Wednesday after school, Thursday after school, and Friday after school. Sunday, she likes to use as days as like self-care days, you know, getting ready for the week, all that stuff. But look at all that time she has in the afternoons to do whatever she wants to do. She can add an extra workout if she wants. Now she can schedule in some pottery classes for herself. And she has time to schedule in a few rotting sessions or some time to hang out with her friends or time to clean her home, okay? When you look at your life in that perspective with all the time that you have, it's so easy to just pencil things in for yourself week to week, okay? And get it done that way. Now, I will say this. I understand that lifes sometimes. And life does not always pan out the way we want it to, right? Let life. Okay, let life happen. If there's ever anything that you have to get situated in your life, get it situated. Your routine is going to be there for you when you come back, okay? Routine is gonna be there for you when everything is said and done. You have a nice weekly routine going, okay? You've scheduled in your workouts. You might have booked a couple of classes in advance because you already know these are your days to go to the gym, okay? You've booked your pottery lessons, okay? And then now you have all this time to clean, hang out with friends, hang out with family, do some self-care, and most importantly, maybe read instead of rot, I don't know. But you have so much more time to pour into yourself and just to have like a balanced life, which is the most important thing. That is what I want you to do whenever you are building out your routine. Weigh out your options. Look at what's working and what's not working. Change things up whenever you need to change things up. Maybe Michelle decided to become a cheer coach and now she's busy after school a couple of times a week. Well, now she has to change up her routine a little bit, okay? She has to change it up a little bit. There's a lot of autonomy. You can change things up as life changes up on you. So now that I've helped you learn how to build a routine, now we're gonna talk about how to remain consistent within your routine. So number one is that you need to remember that your motivation and your temperament is going to change throughout the year as the year goes on. And you need to be okay with that because life is going to life. Okay, things are going to happen. There's going to be times where you're super motivated and you're on 10 and you're ready to hit the ground running with your goals. And there's going to be times where you just need to rest. You just want to take a break. You just need a mental break from it all. Okay, that does not mean you are a failure when you take time to rest, okay? It does not mean you are a failure. You need to take that time to rest. You need to take the time to figure out why you're feeling these feelings, okay? Maybe some family issues have arisen. Me and Michael are a team, okay? And when he's not feeling great, my routine changes up because I have to think about him and think about what I can do to help him feel better, bring him back to 100, right? Because that's how relationships work. We're not both always going to be at 100. Same thing when you have kids. Life is going to truly life, okay? But that does not mean that we let go of our routine. We still hold on to as much as we can. We should still hold on to as much control as we can hold on to. But we have to take a step back and take care of the things that we have to take care of. It is okay because your routine is going to be here when you get back. I just want to let you know that life is gonna life. It happens to us all. We all have crazy things that happen. It's okay to take a step back to go focus on your spouse or go focus on your boyfriend or girlfriend or go focus on your dog or your cat or your family. Number two, you need to be very mindful with the content that you consume. My timeline is so curated on every single app. Instagram could be better, okay? But like I am following so many motivational people on Instagram, people that just make me want to get up and get moving. Same thing with YouTube. My feed is less gossip, shade room. I don't like all of that stuff. I want motivating content that's going to keep me up and moving and feeling my best, okay? You need to consume content that makes you feel good about yourself. But there's always a but. You need to remember that sometimes whenever you're consuming content, creators put out content to help you feel motivated, okay? They don't put out content for you to feel like you need to do exactly what they do to feel your best. If you go to the doctor and your doctor runs blood work on you and tells you, hey, like, you're not deficient in any of these vitamins and minerals, you're good, then you're good. You don't need to take your greens every morning. You don't have to take vitamins and minerals every morning. If your doctor is telling you that you're getting all the vitamins and minerals you need from the foods that you're eating, you're good, then you're good. Honestly, I'm a content creator as well. I love to share certain visuals with people to help them become more motivated. Trying not to share visuals in a way where I'm like, you need to do this to be like this, okay? Because this is my routine. I have my routine. I know my routine can be very motivating, and that's why I like to share it. But like, don't look at content creators' lives and think that you need to do that to be successful, because that's not realistic, okay? Build a routine that is based on your habits and the things that you need to improve on in your life, okay? And use the content that you watch and consume as motivation. Number 3, this is a big one. Stop taking on more than you can handle. Okay, we talked about this earlier. I used to have like 5, 6, 7 goals that I would write out every year. Why? Why is that necessary? You don't need that many goals, guys. 2 to 3 goals every 6 months is perfectly fine. Goals don't always have to be professional goals. They can be fun, personal goals for yourself, like taking up a new hobby, okay? Going to pottery class, working out more, okay? These goals don't have to be super serious all the time. In this day and age, we're so wrapped up in hustle culture. Like, what are you doing to be better? What are you doing to do better? What are you doing for yourself? Like, calm down, okay? It's not every month that I need to become a superwoman, okay? Let me rest every once in a while. I love taking the back seat in the summer. Summer has always made me just want to rest, okay? And just relax a little bit more. And I still stand by this now, even now that I'm not a teacher, even now that I'm not a student. Summer is still a time for me to rest and recharge. So I'm not waking up as much at 5 a.m. in the summers. I'm like waking up early only sometimes, you know, taking the time to sleep in and to recharge and do what I need to do for myself in the summer. But yeah, like, don't take on more than you can handle throughout the year. If you want to have a few months where you have no goals, then have a few months where you have no goals, okay? Have a few months where you're just coasting and going through life and just doing what you gotta do to get through. It's okay to not be an overachiever all the time, because there are times where I am like up here and I have all these goals that I'm trying to achieve. I'm doing all this stuff, and there's times where I'm just coasting. Okay, I'm keeping up with the news, the things that are going on in the world. I think this is number 4. If you're feeling stagnant, make the change now, okay? So if you're starting to feel really stagnant in your routine, if you're starting to feel yourself falling off because you're getting a little bored, that should be your sign to make a change. A lot of times when we're starting to feel stagnant, we just feel like we're in a rut. We just don't know where to begin, and then we fall deep into these like bad habits. If you're starting to feel stagnant, make a change, okay? Switch things up. Do what you have to do to make yourself feel better, but change things up, okay, as soon as possible. Still take the time to rest, but after you're done with rest mode, make the changes that you need to make so you can feel excited again in your routine, and then move forward from there. Next tip. Stop focusing on the things that you didn't do. Stop focusing on the goals that you didn't hit. One thing that I've noticed is that sometimes as people, we are so focused on everything that we want in this life, we forget to celebrate the things that we have achieved. And we just celebrate it for a moment and then we move on. I know I'm so guilty of this. I'm definitely a what's next type of girl, okay? I love chasing that like gratification that you get whenever you achieve a goal. So I'll achieve something and I'll be like, all right, cool, let's get to the next thing. This is my new goal. This is my next goal. And that is just not the way to live life. You need to take a moment, almost like monthly, almost Honestly, you should be taking moments quarterly to look at the things that you have achieved, even if it's not a goal that you wrote down. Working out consistently is such a huge goal, like that a lot of people wish that they could do. And if you are at a place where you are working out consistently, you should be and feel so proud of yourself for that, okay? You should feel so proud of yourself. Another thing for me is like going to Pilates, going to solid core. Once upon a time, guys, and there's only a few people who will remember this. Once upon a time, solid core was so hard to me that I genuinely didn't like going to the class at all. And now I'm so excited to go to solid core classes. I'm so excited about getting my workouts done. Before, you couldn't pay me to be excited. I did it because it was a trend. But now I really love Mega Reformer Pilates. And that is an achievement. That is a huge achievement to me. I think that's amazing that I actually love the workout now. So take the time to really check in on the things that you have achieved, at least quarterly, at least monthly, and big up yourself, okay? Celebrate, because it's something worth celebrating. It doesn't matter how small it is. It doesn't matter how small you may think it is worth celebrating. Celebrate the small wins always. And that's something that I am working on, okay? I'm working on celebrating the small wins because I'm definitely one of those who just always wants more. I'm always looking to the next goal. Don't be like that. Let's talk about sacrifice, okay? Probably the hardest part when it comes to this whole thing. I want this goal, but I don't want to give up this. And with big goals comes big sacrifice sometimes. When it comes to sacrificing the things that you have to sacrifice to reach your goals, I need you to change your mindset. I need you to remember that this is temporary, okay? You're not always going to have to sacrifice Netflix. You're not always going to have to sacrifice sugars, processed sugars, whatever it is, the fun foods that you like to eat. You're not always going to have to sacrifice all of these things that you love, okay? But when you're restructuring your routine, it's going to feel uncomfortable because you're so used to just doing and being the person that you've always been these last couple of months. So just know it's gonna feel a little uncomfortable. Like I always say, you gotta push through that uncomfortable feeling to get to the other side. And once you're on the other side, you're just gonna be like, okay, like I was making it a big deal. I'm still able to do this. I'm still able to scroll every once in a while. I just have to be a little bit more intentional, and I just have to like really structure out time to scroll, structure out time to rock, structure out time to have a little drinky drink, structure out time to have a little cheat meal every once in a while. But it doesn't mean that you're gonna sacrifice it forever. But in the beginning, okay, it's going to feel like the end of the world sometimes, honestly. So don't look at it like that. Sacrifice isn't a bad thing, especially when it comes to like becoming who we want to be. Once you build a routine around 2 or 3 goals that you have for yourself, everything else is going to fall into place, okay? So a lot of people were like, well, how do you like factor in cleaning? How do you factor in this? Social time, this. Guys, all of this stuff just kind of falls into place over time for me. I don't have to factor in cleaning when I now have like 4 evenings off and Sundays, like the full day on Sunday to actually clean. Now that I've worked out 3 to 4 times a week already, I've already gone to my pottery class. I have all this time during the week to factor in cleaning. I'm not the type to like plan every single thing in my life. I don't think that you need to plan every single thing in your life. And I do think that like once you structure out all of the important things or the things that are important to you right now, you'll start to see those windows of opportunity open for you to have more time to clean and not feel stressed out about it, or for you to have more time to hang out with friends and not feel as stressed about it, okay? So let everything else fall in the way that it falls. Use your weekly calendar though, because it's going to help you visualize these things, especially when it comes to events, right? There's always something going on. We just went to a wedding yesterday, and I had to work around my work schedule this week to be able to go to the wedding and have a good time. Just look at your schedule. Use your schedule for as long as you need to as a visual. Some people use a weekly schedule for life, you know? Some people need it all the time. Some people don't. Some people are able to just do it off the top of their dome, which honestly is really cool. But use your weekly schedule to your advantage. Don't overcomplicate it, guys, okay? You don't need to schedule in cleaning. You don't have to schedule in all these things for them to happen. You can if that's what you need to do, but it's not sustainable to schedule in every single little thing. The next thing I want to talk about when it comes to consistency is you need to take the time to learn yourself, okay? And I talked a little bit about this earlier, right? When I was talking about like writing down your temperament and writing out the things that work and don't work. This is all about really figuring out why you feel the way you feel when you are feeling any type of emotion. If waking up at 4:30 a.m. is not working for you, why is that? Why do you feel as though it's just not something that you like? You need to get to the bottom of that, okay? You need to get to the bottom of it. Really taking the time to learn you and your quirks and like the things that make you the way you are is just going to help push you so far in life. It's going to help you become so successful, guys. I promise you. Like, I feel like one of the biggest differences between me today and me a year ago is that I was willing to look at myself as not just like something I need to pick apart and just like, oh, you're not good here, you're not good here. But it's just being honest with myself and being honest with things that I can improve on and being honest with why I do the things that I do. Learning how to criticize myself in a healthy way has helped me professionally. It has helped me increase my income. It has helped me lose weight. All of these things have helped me because I've learned how to just be honest with myself, figure out what is keeping me stuck, and why I'm continuing to put myself in a position where I am feeling stuck, and how I can change that. And the last tip I want to give you is that you need to be patient. These things take time. Change takes time. A lot of times you can't force yourself into it. You have to be truly ready. You have to be in a season of change to move forward, okay, with these changes that you want in your life. Be patient with yourself as you are transitioning, but also take your time. This might not be your time today, okay? This might not be your time as you're watching this video, but in a few weeks, you might wake up and just have this sense of purpose and just feel as though like you're ready to take the next steps to improve your health, or you're ready to take the next steps to improve your life. You're ready to make some changes in your professional life, in your financial life. And this video might help you really kickstart that change in your life. So be patient. Once it's time, it's gonna be time. And you're going to really change your life within, I don't know, guys, you can change your life within a month, within 3 months, within 6 months. It's crazy how much things can change. And I am rooting for you always. Always, 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 always. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope this video gave you a lot of insight. I did a lot of rambling, which I'm sorry about, but these videos are all so complex and there's just so much I want to say, and I'll probably do some follow-ups later on, but I hope this video really was insightful and it really gave you just a little bit of confidence in yourself to really become the person that you want to become this year. I never thought I'd be here, and I feel like I'm moving into this just like, I don't know, this grown and sexy and confident era, and I have my routine to thank for that. So try it out, guys. I hope this video helps you so much. And yeah, I'm trying to get back into posting more consistently, so let me know what you guys would like to see more from me down below. I'm wanting to do some more vlogs. We're coming back with the reset diaries here soon. So yeah, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Peace out, Girl Scout. Bye. Oh, and make sure you guys check out Copilot, okay? Because it's an amazing app. They're an amazing company, and I know you'll love it. So bye, guys.